So the new Gemini 2.0 will save developers thousands of dollars because their API price is so low. But how does it compare to DeepSeek R1 and ChatGPT o3 Mini that just came out? We'll take a look at the quality, speed, and pricing. So as you can see, there are 3 new models that now are accepted or available to everyone. So this was actually unveiled back in, I think, September to developers. But now it's actually available through the Gemini Google Studio here and the AI Studio and in Vertex AI, so you can actually use it as a developer. And you can see that the differences here is that they've added the Gemini 2.0 Flash. So that is a reasoning model that is sort of like the O1 or O3 Mini. They have a Flash Lite, which is a faster model, more cost effective, and it's smaller as well, lower quality. And they've also introduced the Gemini 2 Pro, and that is, think of it like not a O3 or O1 or R1, it's more of a ChatGPT 4.0. So it's just a great language model without the reasoning. And yet, like, they are always flexing their context window, like how much they can actually pump in there. So that's pretty cool. But let's take a look at the quick summary here of model features. So you can see here you have release status generally available today. So that's great. Multimodal inputs, text output, image output as well in the Flash model. That's pretty interesting. I don't think that Google has such good image models though, so not sure about that. Audio output as well. They do actually have quite good audio. Multimodal live API. This one is incredible because we've seen it with actually seeing your screen and then answering back to you. That's really interesting. You can see the context window here. 1 million, 1 million, and 2 million for O2 Pro. You're gonna just upload like 10 books into the into the input.
Or all your company files.
Yeah, that's right. If you have a lot of data and you want to chat to it, it's definitely very interesting to see. Structured output, function calling, search as a tool. So no search in the general Flash Lite preview, and code execution as a tool is also not available in the 2.0 Flash Lite, the middle here. So the thing that everybody cares about is like, how good is it really? So I'm gonna go to this website, and I found this week as really great, artificialanalysis.ai, that can basically compare all the different models. So I just clicked here and I checked out the models. And as you can see, you have them here on the site. As you can see in the quality versus price, and we're going to talk a lot about how cheap it is, especially for developers. You can see that Gemini 1.5 Flash goes right here in extremely cheap. Hey, by the way, if you like this video, click on subscribe. Also check out the full video over on our podcast channel. You can find that in the link in the description. Now, let's get back to it. In extremely cheap, but still has a 75-ish score on this benchmark here. That's almost where Llama 3.3 70B, DeepSeek V3 is a little bit higher. You can see O3 Mini is right up here, and DeepSeek R1 as well is right up here. But you see the cost, quite expensive. $3 for DeepSeek R1, $2 for O3 Mini, and here you get it at the fraction of a cost with a reasoning model. So that's pretty huge. You can also see here the quality versus output speed. The output speed of Gemini 1.5 Pro and quality here as well. You see output speed is on the right side. You see it's actually doing pretty good. But when it comes to the reasoning models, they're obviously quite a lot slower because it has the reasons and things like that. But on the side of comparing it with O3 Mini and the Gemini 2.0 Flash here, it actually is performing really, really well. And then I want to tell you guys about the price. So we have taken a look at a bunch of these models and have a price table for them. So the credit here goes to Theo T3.gg. He made a great video on it and he summarize these into a table, you can see here that ChatGPT 4o, the input price is $2.5 and the output is $10. So compare this to Gemini 2o Flash, it's $0.10. So literally,
It's like a fraction of the cost, even cheaper than DeepSeek V3 and R1, if you can notice, as you notice from the table.
exactly right. It's really even cheaper than R1, which we last podcast were talking about how extremely cheap R1 was. It's almost a fraction of the cost of that, with the output being like 40 cents versus $2.19. So this is going to massively reduce any cost that you have that really needs the advanced reasoning if you are using any tool or if you're using the API. And I want to also show you that I input them into a graph. So here's the prompt and here is the actual results. And you can see that ChatGPT 01 is extremely expensive in comparison. So you see $60 here for the output, and you see $14-ish here for the output. So I actually removed ChatGPT 01 from the table. And here you can see it more clearly that ChatGPT 4o still really expensive for the input and even more expensive for the output. So yeah, we definitely have to change our if we use it in automations and stuff like that. I think it's a way better to use other models.
That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to rethink our strategy when it comes to AI models.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's really interesting to see that it's getting so much cheaper so fast too.
I guess it's thanks to DeepSeek.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, China. We love you, and keep giving us more cool stuff, but don't hide it from us, okay? Just give it all open source to us. That's what we want. But yeah, the big deal here is really just take a look at DeepSeek R1 at almost $2. And here, this tiny sliver, you get the 2.0 Flash and the 2.0 Flash Lite. This is going to save you a bunch of money, but is it as good as well? We had this article here from actually December 20th. So developers have been using this a bit. And this is the two Flash thinking versus ChatGPT 01. And he actually concluded with that. My initial impression is that it's not smarter than ChatGPT 01 and even the smaller 01 mini model. So, you know, it really is a challenge between quality versus price. It's always going to be like that. And think about it if you need to use reasoning from a very simple standpoint, use the cheaper models. If you only have to do certain specific tasks that basic AI models can run, use those simple models. And if you really need to do the deep research and you really need to make them think for a long time, use that. And how we use that internally is when I use automations, for example, I might use the more expensive model in an automation in the beginning. And then when it comes to formatting and things like that, we don't need an expensive model to run that. So this, I'm not sure if we're going to jump right over to Google Flash, because we're not running like hundreds of thousands of calls and token inputs. But it's something definitely to keep in mind that if you have been using ChatGPT 4o for your automations or anything in the past, you can really save a lot of money by changing to something that is very similar in the output and input results.
Yep. And yeah, we're gonna test it for our automations. And you know, as you say, if it's a very kind of simple task that you don't need much, input from, maybe creative thinking of the model, then Gemini is more than what you need.
Hey, so if you loved this clip, we actually have a full-length podcast that you can check out in the link in the description down below. A lot more to cover. All right, see you there.